Hi everyone, this is Emanuele from Italy, but you know me better as Evil Dead Italia. Today I want to take a moment to celebrate someone really special for the Evil Dead world, and someone we sadly lost just a few days ago, Scott Spiegel. I was lucky enough to interview him back in May 2024. The plan was to split the interview into two parts, since one of them was meant as an extra for an Italian release of Intruder. Around that time, my girlfriend was pregnant, and I was also dealing with some evil innovation at work at home. So the video just sat there for months, waiting to be edited. In the meantime, my little boy Edoardo was born, and keeping up with the podcast became even harder. To be honest, I wasn't sure if I should release this at all. I didn't want to feel disrespectful to his family in any way, but in the end, I felt the best way to honor Scott is by sharing this chat with you. Even a simple interview, even just a small story, can be turned into a beautiful memory. The quality of the video isn't great at all. The audio sounds pretty much like a phone call. But honestly, that's not what matters here. Thank you, Scott, for everything you've done for the fans. Safe travels.
Thank you for being with us, Mr. Spiegel. I'm very happy to have you here. It's a great pleasure to have you with us. And so, first of all, how are you? How it's going here?
Good. It is a great pleasure to be here. No, I'm imitating that dude from Kentucky Fried Movie. But no, it is. I'm not. I'm not. It actually is a great pleasure to be here. But I just got Kentucky Fried Movie stuck in my brain right now. I gotta get rid of it. Anyway, continue on, my friend.
Yeah. So, first of all, let's say I love your movies. I watch a lot of them. I know you have you have worked in different, let's say, roles in your movie. You were director, you were writer, you were even actor. Okay,
Yeah.
so before starting to talk about Evil Dead Do too, even because this podcast is in particular related to the Evil Dead franchise, but I would like you to talk about the old short movies, the the 18 millimeters movies. If you have some particular memories on how you met Bruce, Sam, Rob Tappert, and the other guys.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, gosh, that's a loaded story. But no, it's um Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi, and myself. Yeah, we all went to well, we went to West Maple High School and junior high school, and then we went to uh, Groves High School in Southfield, Michigan, Birmingham. I was in the West Bloomfield area along with Bruce, and Sam was in an area called Franklin. And first, I knew Bruce Campbell from church. We would go to this Christian Science church, and but that's not really fun and frolic time. You're like, all right. So it was all very serious. And then I bumped into Bruce in study hall in 1972, and I'll never forget it. He was telling me about this incredible movie he just saw called The Poseidon Adventure with Gene Hackman. I'm like, what, dude? You got to be kidding me! So we became instant friends. In fact, we ended up seeing Towering Inferno on January 1st, 1975. Man, that was a great year, man. And then Jaws and then Cuckoo's Nest, man, that was the year. But anyway, so we were big, we saw every disaster from we became fast friends. And then um, around that time, um, uh, I, I was making movies with Bill Ward and Matt Taylor, Three Stooges ripoffs. And I showed those to Bruce, and Bruce showed me some of his short films, which were mostly, sitting on your butt, stop motion, making it look like you're driving, like, on the ground, like an automobile, kind of a wacky, pixelated, kind of silly thing they used in a lot of 60s golf commercials here in the States. But anyway, um, so next thing you know, Bruce is our leading man. in these movies I'm making with Bill Wardens and Matt Taylor. And then Tim Quill of Army of Darkness fame and whatnot, and he
Yeah.
ended up joining in around that time. And it was and then we met Sam was in my biology class, and so we became fast friends. I told the Stooges joke that he knew what the origin of that, and I'm like, hey, how'd you get a laugh at that? And it was all very very fun. And the next thing you know, Sam is in our films. And again, we were still doing kind of Three Stooges variants, although we were morphing into a whole different scenario. But then and then Sam had made a few films, and we saw those, and he had a sound Super 8 camera. And all of a sudden, before we had an explosion of writing, directing, we ended up doing a film on James Hoffa, who went mysteriously missing in 1975, and so we live right where he was abducted from this restaurant called the Marcus Red Fox, and so we started making these films, Bruce again, and we all acted in these little films, and weren't even taking like directing credits. Some of us were. Sometimes it would be a directing credit or just a written by, and so. But it really ramped up, and we started just really making these movies. And Sam Raimi did a whole Super 8 film called Civil War, based on his Civil War class, and it just everything just really kind of snowballed, and with this Super 8 world. And then by the time Sam Raimi went to college in '77, he had met Rob Tapert, through his older brother Ivan Raimi, collaborator, and they went and they did a movie called Happy Valley Kid, which was amazing. Sam Raimi and I also did a real popular favorite called The 6 Months to Live, where we killed a Pillsbury Doughboy, and so it was like, oh, that kind of was a popular favorite on a double bill with the Happy Valley Kid up at Michigan State University back in 1977. And then that's where the whole Evil Dead idea of doing a low budget horror film hatched. And so, I mean, we had done this movie called It's Murder, where I play this crazy private eye, and Sam Raimi's this crazy old man in a wheelchair. And it was like it was close to feature length film. It was crazy. And we used stock footage from the Super 8 Spielberg movie called Duel. And we cut that into and people go, how'd you get that? We took it from, I mean, nowadays everything's artificial intelligence. You can just pull stuff out of
Yeah.
your end. But back then you had to get a physical copy of a film and cut it in and splice tape it, or cement, splice it. But it was like, wow, man. But we were, hey, man, if you guys can make a movie that's, screenable. But the cool thing with This Murder is that there was a backseat scare, which I wrote for the movie, and Sam directed so perfectly that when we showed this movie, which was a comedy mostly, a mystery comedy, so there's some fake suspense stuff, but nothing more menacing than Murder by Death or something like that. But you know, the scare in the back seat just made the whole audience jump, and that was like Sam turns to me like, wow, and that happened to be right at the when the Halloween came out, 1978. So everything kind of like we were kind of doing comedy stuff, but still Sam really expanded the world with Happy Valley Kid, and um, and and then by doing It's Murder, again, that was the summer of foul play, and there was a lot of big budget car crashing comedies, a year and a half before with Silver Streak. And so, we just thought we'd just make this movie It's Murder, this mishmash, but really it kind of was the stumbling ground for, making a feature film such as Evil Dead. Of course, Clockwork was a short film that Sam made that I played a killer in and also helped him make on a quick weekend to see if they could, do something scary. And of course, it was an excellent short film, which, built to an incredible jump scare, shock scare at the end. But then from there, all of a sudden, Within the Woods is happening. And so everything was a rather a blur because Bruce Campbell was also directing 16 millimeter films, and I was a star on a couple of them, so was Sam. and we dabbled in some 16 millimeter, but uh, then I did Night Crew, and Bruce helped me with that. I did Attack of the Helping Hand, which was reappropriated a section of that for Evil Dead 2, of course, and it was just Clockwork we did, and so and then just what a busy uh, you know uh,
Yeah.
year that was, and then all of a sudden, bada boom, there's Book of the Dead.
It-
And Sam wrote that script. I guess he was at MSU. In fact, Sam Raimi and I were standing in line. I think it was to see a comedian named Martin Mull. We went on to listen to Fernwood Tonight. Terrific, a great comic actor and everything. But back in the day and age of Steve Martin and stand-up comedians owned the world, David Brenner, and so we were out the Birmingham Theater, and Sam Raimi waiting to see Martin Mull. So everything's comedy, and then Sam tells me this really creepy story. It was very I Am Legend, Richard Matheson like, but instead of vampires, they were demons possessed by zombies in a way, I guess, or corpses. But and Sam told me about this whole thing in the cabin, and but it wasn't like it was like starring Bruce. It was just like it was that kind of like somebody telling you a campfire tale, and that was really cool. I'll never forget that. And the next thing you know, he's got Book of the Dead, this 79-page script, and I'm like, oh wow, dude, that was fast. What's going on here? And but again, having done Within the Woods and getting a lot of great press and having it screened at the theater, and we had screenings, and it was like so cool. It was great. That film just really rocked. So having that and getting all the write-ups and all of a sudden using that to start to raise money. They had the script, and then they had the film, and then they went and put on their business suits and then went out and tried to raise and did raise the cash. In fact, it was such a long process that they originally had Book of the Dead shirts made.
yeah.
And then, of course, Urban Shapiro, and they changed Book of the Dead to Evil Dead. And then they have Evil Dead shirts made. And Sam Raimi sees somebody, goes, "Oh, you made another movie?" No, it's still Book of the Dead. We just changed the title like 3 years later. And it's like, oh man, I mean, if ever a series of these scenarios ever had played, you could just see visually how that would happen. It would be almost like a Bewitched or I, Jane Genie, one of those kind of transitions. Anyway,
That,
so,
that,
but
that's
that was really kind of we all fed off each other. We all just obviously the collaborating both on scripts and the cross pollination of everybody, and of course there was this guy Josh Becker, who I ended up partnering with to do House and Not Killing in the '80s and some of the short things we did in the early '80s. He was in the mix too, uh, writing stuff. Mostly, I was just acting back in the '70s with Josh's films, and sort of Sam and Bruce, and so all that was happening. So then there's John Cameron also involved. I mean, it was really Mike Ditz, and we had a lot of really. It was just, I guess it was our kind of version of like the Corning world, Roger Corman, the Michigan version in a way, where all of us are doing this. And again, it's not, it's just, Sam, Bruce, and Rob, when they did Book of the Dead, man, that was serious business. So I couldn't financially even afford to even go anywhere near there. So I was making like 25 grand a year. Like whoa! And back in 1979, that was a lot of dough. But they kept calling me, and they're having such trouble down in Morristown. I felt so bad, but I'm like, wow, man, it'd be one thing if there was, I think they were paying people $50 a week. I don't know, but it was really rough on everybody somehow. And I feel like I'm like, wow, man. When those guys came back, it was not to slight anything, but it was like they went into battle in a sense. I think they were like, whoa, this thing is like, this is a monster, and like, nobody's with us. I think that's what was really cool about working, with a group of people that you can mostly depend upon, and then you go out and go, oh, wait a minute, um, It's great to be working with our friends because they'll stick with you more. They know what, they're like, oh, wait, they know the results. They know, although again, it was a giant, you know, to do Super 8 in the comfort of your own home, and you can go away and go home and relax. Um, it was, they it was a hell of a learning experience. But when it came back, they were kind of like, oh man, that was like, what the hell? So it was great when they came back in a way because I got to help out on some of the additional photography that they needed, and I got a bunch of my friend Glenn Kochansky doubled for everybody doubled for Betsy. It was like, oh my God, Cheryl Guttridge, who ended up co-starring in Thou Shalt Not Call It Sap, and she was a leading lady in It's Murder. I almost said It's Intruder. I'm like, oh wait a minute. But no, but it was an amazing experience. It's just like, oh man, uh, it's a shame that you know the whole. I mean, thanks. I mean, it was great that Stephen King gave that
Yeah,
such a rave review. And it's just
yeah,
there's no reason why that couldn't have just all been wrapped up a hell of a lot quicker. But it was all a great learning experience. And talk about the slow burn. And that film's only snowballed in cult, classic horror status, ever since Stephen King blessed
yeah.
it with his magic wand. Deservedly so, man. It's like, hey, finally somebody gets it. All right, yay!
And sorry to ask, probably you already said that, but the character of Scotty was named after you, I suppose, right? I mean, it's something I read
Yeah,
somewhere.
exactly. In fact, I played basically that same character in Within the Woods, and it's like, oh my
Yeah,
gosh, I've been there, done that. I don't like to repeat myself. Why? But man, I made a pretty cool looking monster in that thing. But yeah, no, they went off. That's the thing. It's like, my God, and look, everybody got they had to take their names. It was really it was kind of dicey because it was like, I don't know, but it was like, man, I could not afford. I was helping to support my family, so I couldn't afford
yeah,
to even go there. But yeah, it's all that. I think Sam. It was such a low budget film. Sam just didn't. I don't know. It was, what the hell knows, man. It's
yeah,
just it's cool. Well, at least it kind of came up on the other end, and like, hey, oh, that's great. To write Evil Dead 2 was such a great experience for me. It just kind of paved the way for whatever career I ended up with. And so it's like, I don't know, man. I thought Hal Dowrich did a great job, and I love the ladies of the Evil Dead, and it's an amazing, obviously a crazy movie. It would have been great to have been in it, obviously, into the feature film. But it's cool to be kind of like in Within the Woods, which I really love. I love that film. I was kind of tormented because we had to like do some post dubbing because the Super 8 camera, the when you plugged in the mic on the side was the same. The door where you slam it to, when you take the film in and out. And I'm like, and it ruined all the sound, so we had to go back and re-loop it. And it was just like, oh, everything was a bit awkward and pushy. But I love the film; it's a classic. And I just thought, I don't know, man. It's just
yeah.
I'm sure Sam's going to put it out. I hope he does because that's obviously they've had some, you know, really murky bootlegs floating out there at some point back when nobody thought an internet would really exist so quickly.
I fully agree with you. You cited the Attack of the Helping Hand before, and it's one of the short movie I love it the most, because it's really funny. And I would like to ask to you, it's pretty obvious, but for to me, almost to me, but the Attack of the Helping Hand was substantially used in Evil Dead 2, right? I mean, the scene with the hand that attacks someone is very similar to the scene
Yeah,
you write down for Ash in Evil Dead 2, right? I mean, you took inspiration from the Attack of the Helping Hand in some way.
Well, it was funny when Sam was essentially pitching me Evil Dead 2, basically. He's like, yeah, and then this, you know, Ash just he cuts his hand off, and then it starts attacking him and gives him the middle finger. I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? Oh, I get what movie you're making. This is going to be the more over the top version of Evil Dead. He's gonna go the distance since everything was, it couldn't just be Mad Max anymore. The sequel had to be the Road Warrior. It was, slicker and with more money and more polished in so many ways. But so it was like I totally got what Sam wanted to do, and in fact, I was so bummed that you know Sam asked me to write Army of Darkness, and I'm like, God, what a weird conundrum. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, man. I want to write that with you, but it's like I was contractually obligated to finish this script revisions as per Mr. Eastwood's instructions, and I was like obviously tied to a contract at Warner Brothers, and I'm like, I so wanted to write Army of Darkness with Sam, damn it. But it all turned out great. I mean, the trilogy, the original Evil Dead trilogy, just amazing. I bet you they wish they called Army of Darkness Evil Dead, Medieval Dead, or
Yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
because they obviously the Evil Dead is a brand, it's just a brand now. So
yes.
I mean, it's great. It's
It's a
fucking
huge franchise, right?
it's
A-
amazing.
And how many times you rewrite the script? Because I suppose it is a process. I mean, how many rewrite you remember you had for the Evil Dead 2 script?
Oh, sorry. There's some guy with a leaf blower right outside here. And it's sunny and beautiful in the Hollywood Hills, but I thought they banned those things. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, could you hit me with that one again? Oh boy.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, the question was how many time you rewrite the script of
well,
Evil Dead
now here he
2?
is.
Yeah, so how many?
Right in front of us too. Oh man! Now if I had a phone, I could get the heck out of here. He's actually a tree trimmer. So everything makes noise like a leaf blower. Oh man, I'm sorry, my friend.
Don't worry, don't worry. It's like to be in Italy with the sound of there are scooter, right?
Oh
Motorcycle.
yeah. Oh
Yeah, yeah.
man.
There are a
See,
lot of those here.
they're all electric here, so I want them to make noise because otherwise I don't see them coming. Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? The siren. All right, I don't know this guy. So, all right, maybe we could.
I can retry. So, how many times you have to rewrite the script of Evil Dead 2? I mean, it is a process of many rewrite, right?
Oh
Many.
yeah, how many? Yeah, like what? That's a great question. I don't know. There could have been, maybe 12 drafts. Maybe I don't
Wow,
know. I mean,
wow.
because we're like, I go, oh wait, we can do this, and they're like, oh my god, not again. But it's okay. It's as long as like it's worth writing down and worth I mean, of course, those are back in the old days where Sam and I just typed the script on an old electric typewriter, and that was it. And you're like, I mean, we cut and paste and cut the pages in half and use the whiteout, and it was just all very very old school. It was great. It's very uncomputer like. Holy man! But yeah, so we had a bunch of drafts. There's some really wild stuff. There's probably enough material for another Evil Dead installment somewhere in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was looking back. I don't know. This is like 10 years ago. Looking back, and I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. What is this scene? What's going on here? What's happening here? Oh wow, this is wild. So it was just. Well, you know what? What happened was we were trying to get it away from the cabin. Obviously, with the scene with Bobby Joe, where she gets attacked by vines and dragged through the woods, you know, Rob and Bruce basically said, "Hey, you guys keep it more into the cabin. You can have that great chase scene. Sam was so smart with it. With the chase scene and oh, there's the
Yeah.
bridge. That's why he's gone. That's why the bridge is out. And and to keep everything in the cabin. And I'm looking as I look over the earlier drafts. a lot more action and horror
Hmm.
happened outside. And now, if you look back at Evil Dead 2, you're like, oh, there kind of is, but not too much. Just about right. It makes perfect sense in that, you know, how everything just kind of ended up. But anyway,
I have to ask you. I mean, working with someone else, even if you are friends on a script, maybe sometimes could happen that I don't know, you don't agree with something. So, have you memory of anything you really loved to be in the movie, but in the end, it doesn't make it?
oh, yeah, like, okay, this will be
Some
a
details,
well, no,
some.
no, yeah, I think I said this. Yeah, I've said this before, but there was a really cool sequence, and again, it's strictly a budgetary thing because the boys, yeah, at least they told me they really loved it. Was see but that was the weird thing. Huh. Um, well, now I'm like I don't know where in what context I came up with this, but the idea that the bridge wasn't destroyed, that Ash is going across the bridge to the other side. On the other side, you can see through the woods coming toward Ash is the evil force, and Bruce is just about to make it to the other side, but the car is still on the bridge right at the edge as he realizes the evil force is coming toward him, and he puts the car in reverse and
Ah,
he puts the car in reverse and goes back as the force is on the it's right level to the slats of the bridge, and all the slats start going toward the back up Oldsmobile as the bridge starts twisting and turning, and Bruce then he gets stuck in that damn hole that he broke through in the first Evil Dead. And the tires spinning, and the evil force is coming, and the bridge is coming apart, and then Ash finally gets out, and then makes it back, and the minute he hits land, the evil force did such a good job of destroying the bridge that it goes down with the bridge just as it gets to the edge to get Bruce, and it goes down, and now if you see in Evil Dead 2, the forest kind of comes up out of the chasm,
yeah,
and up to, and you're like, oh, and that would have been a spectacular sequence. But
yeah,
part of the issue is you're like, well, wait a minute, I tried to make it like, oh, well, they only you could actually make it across the bridge. It's just, if you just put this thing down, those movie contrivances where people kind of go, all right, I see. You know what? I'll take that contrivance because the end result was so cool. I don't know. But anyway, that was just one of
yeah.
those things that would have been just a
I
cool
suppose
sequence.
there were even technical issue in making something like that because it's very impressive. I mean, I can figure the scene as you told me that. I suppose there is even some technical issue in making this on the budget side, maybe. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
very complex scene, right? It's very narrative. It give a sense of oppression, right? So
yeah.
it's cool.
Ironically, if you had today's technology, that's where CGI could come in really handy. Because
Yeah.
you're like, oh, okay, it's not kind of like you know, it's at night, it's darker. You could actually do a lot of cool stuff with CGI in that context.
Wow. Wow.
But anyway,
That's great. And I don't know, did you see something of Ash versus Evil Dead, the series?
I did a little. You know what's funny? I did voiceover very early on, back I think in 2016. I don't remember when the hell it was. 2015. Anyway, um, and I ended up revoicing my voice for Evil Ed and Evil Dead 2, which they used Evil Dead 2 footage in the episode that I revoiced Evil Ed in. Boy, is that ever complicated. And I told Sam, I said, dude, I don't know if you know it or not, but we did a temp mix of Evil Ed's growl and voice for Evil Dead 2. And Sam liked my temp mix so much he left it in. And I'm like, oh, then I thought you were gonna. Oh, okay. I'm glad you left that in. Cool. All right. And so I ended up doing the same thing for Ash versus Evil Dead. So that was cool. And then I think I saw one other episode. I saw that, And yeah, no, it was. I mean, it was great. I thought they could keep it going. It was three. It was on for 3 seasons. Eh?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was talking about that series because in that series you can see I don't remember which episode, the five or seven, I don't remember precisely, but they show the force as a fog thing, you know, that chase the car. So I was thinking
Oh,
of what you told to me, uh, um, I talked about that episode in which the force is shown as a fog, a sort of fog that chased the car, and it
oh,
was the first time we see that. But I think it's very very similar to what you told me. You
oh!
know,
Wow, I
this
gotta
scene.
binge watch that. I gotta pick up the slack on that
Yeah,
show.
yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, you know, it's surely CGI in some in some effort.
Oh wow, yeah, no, I'm gonna do that. I'm a little late. I mean, I really dug Evil Dead Rise. I thought particularly the ending was really like very creative and very cool. But anyway,
Yeah, 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 absolutely. And so you didn't have any role as an actor, right, in Evil Dead 2, because I remember that there is a lot of fake champing, but I don't know, I don't remember at all because I studied a lot, you know, the thing, the fake champing thing, but I don't remember if you were somewhere in the Evil Dead 2 movies.
well, yeah, I'm one of the knights, but
Ah, okay.
um, my fist and Sam Raimi's fist are the last. You know, our gloved fists are
Hmm.
um, are uh, are the two fists that come up at the very end to block the camera. So
Hmm.
that's you know, we're wearing the oh, what do you call those? Oh gosh, oh, I should know my King Arthur, but amulet. What are those? The gloves knights wear. Like
Yeah, the gauntlet.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Thank you
Yeah.
very much. Exactly, very fancy. But yeah, so yeah, and so I was there in that the hot sun filming that and that suit of armor, and it was like, well, and I think it was you know, it was a real suit of armor, of course,
Wow.
but it looks good on camera. Anyway, so yeah, you know, I think I do get a fake Shem credit in that one too.
Yeah, yeah. While you were not in any form in the first Evil Dead, right? Even as a fake champ in the something they did when they come back from Tennessee,
Yeah,
right?
that's right, because the only fake chefs in there are Rob Tappert and Sam Raimi as the fishermen.
Hmm.
So that was it, because there was just nothing but just all behind the camera creepiness, because they're stuck out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, God, it's amazing.
Yeah. I can read you even participated to Two Shall Not Kill, except that if I correctly remember, is the feature version of Striker Wars, right?
Right?
That was written by Josh, was surely directed by Josh Becker. I don't remember if he wrote it, but
Yeah, he
I,
wrote it too.
I'm reading here on Wikipedia that you were a writer too of that movie. So I would like to understand what part. I mean, which, if you just helped to revise the script, or if Wikipedia is wrong in that, or
Oh no, yeah, no, yeah, no, I Josh had written it with Sheldon Lettich, you know, of Jean Claude Van Damme fame. In fact, Sheldon has a great book out called "From Vietnam to Van Damme." I highly
mm,
recommend it. It's awesome. But Sheldon was the one that introduced Quentin Tarantino to me, and so Sheldon's amazing. But yeah, no, and Sheldon and Josh came up with this idea of the Marines versus the Manson family, and then when Josh and Bruce made the 1980 version Strikers War. Um, I was in it. Bruce's brother was in it. David Goodman. And of course Sam Raimi is a Charles Manson like character, and Bruce's dad obviously was even in that. But that was cool. And what I did is I came up with some gags on Strikers War, um, for the movie, for a lot of the kill scenes. And so I didn't get any credit with that, but I loved, it was great working with Josh, and we kind of just we created action pictures soon thereafter and whatnot. And so when Josh and I tried to get Cleveland Smith Bounty Hunter made as a feature film, um, I said, this is in that heat of the Rambo craze, in the early to mid '80s. I said, why don't we just do a feature version of Strikers? And so, hey, we have the film. The film exists, and we can show people. And let's do that. And so we did, and we started getting money for that. And that's how that all kind of just went through. And it was great being next door to Renaissance Pictures, Bruce, Sam, and Rob, because they had a whole storage unit by then of props from Evil Dead, because in Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, we used the Evil Dead clock, the pendulum clock, and we had all the props from Crime Wave, and it was just amazing. So we got so much help. Obviously, Sam Raimi recreated his role as Charles Manson, but no, it was great to be a writer and to contribute to that, as well as produce the movie too. I mean, it's the first feature film that I had a major credit on like that, in terms of writer, producer, director. So it was really a big deal. And so it was baptism by fire. Of course, we all wish Bruce could have starred in it, but it's no slight to Kevin Schultz, who does a spectacular job, in my opinion. And obviously, it's always tough. They always like, oh, it's Sean Connery, now Roger Moore. No, wait a minute. But I thought Brian Schultz did a spectacular job. Hey man, we have both versions. So there.
Yeah, that's cool. And I seen you even direct. I've seen I loved the From Dusk Till Dawn too. I
Oh
really
yeah.
loved that one. Um, it was one. It was from 1999. Oh, it seemed more newer to me. I don't remember. It was almost 20 years ago. Time flies, you know.
Oh yeah, it does.
And, and have you some memory from that movie? I mean, what was your best memory, or your worst from
Oh
that movie?
no, it was. I mean, it was so cool to have the pitch with Robert Rodriguez, Quentin Tarantino, and Bob Weinstein, and a couple of the other Bob Weinstein's associates there. And that was like, it was such a great pitch meeting that in the elevator going down, Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino both said to me, "Man, that was the greatest pitch we've ever heard." And I'm like, "What?" You're like, "Okay, I guess we're getting this movie made." And so I was like, I was so blown away. I'm like, "Whoa, you got to be kidding me!" I was so nervous, but it was great. And no, I have a lot of great stories. We had such a fun cast. Just everybody was great. It's great to work with Dwayne Whitaker. I'm writing something with him called Rip to Shreds. Speaking of Rip to Shreds in another context, but yeah, and Robert Patrick, we had the Terminator, and Brad Harrelson,
Yeah,
and Hughes Watson, and Raymond Cruz, and Bo Hopkins. Man, what kind of a cast is that? But again, it's so amazing. Executive produced by Quentin and Robert Rodriguez, and when I bumped into Robert Rodriguez at Musso and Frank, he was talking to the Ricardo Montalban, who went out the other way because by that time I guess he was wheelchair bound. Ricardo, and Robert goes, "Yeah, I think From Dusk Till Dawn was the highest grossing." Um, and it did get a bit of a theatrical release in a sense for promotion, but again, in just a few theaters. But for the highest grossing non-theatrical DVD release, and I'm like, gee, I wonder why. That's only because of you and Quentin. But it was, I mean, again, we had a great cast, and the third one was really cool too. But we were supposed to be the third one, but it just turned out that they released ours as number two, which is always I'll take that. But I love PJ Passion. I love the third one too. I thought everybody did a terrific job. So it's just that I'm number two. Number three, it does not matter to me, but it's it's a nice position to be in. It's nice being kind of like you know, good luck charm of Evil Dead 2, which is like, obviously, I love that portraying them. And yeah, with from Dust to Dawn too. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, I think we won. It was cool to have to be invited to the Saturn Awards and to be given an award. I'm like, oh, cool. And you know what? John Ritter goes, Scott. After I gave my speech at the Saturn Awards, where I won a Saturn Award for from Dust to Dawn 2, he goes, Scott, I just want to feel how heavy this thing is. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, because I had worked with his wife in a movie called The Nutty Nut. His wife, the cool actor. Um, no, I can't even remember. Oh, this is embarrassing. But oh man, oh man. Well,
Wow.
oh man, scratch that. Oh man, Amy Yazbek. I'm sorry, Amy. Boy, did I have a little black baby. Amy's awesome, and I worked with her on the Nutty Nut. The film I took my name off of, but anyway, at from Dust to Dawn 2 was a great experience. Shooting in South Africa was really amazing. And we shot these movies back to back, which is by the time from Dusk to Dawn 2 was the second movie to go after the third one went first. Oh God, this is going to turn into a Star Wars please. But anyway, it just the crew was tired because they literally I think only had like a week's break maybe if that, and they work on a 40-day shoot of a movie. They get a week's break and they do another movie for 40 days. I don't know. That was it was a bit tough, but they were great. South African crew, everybody was really quite amazing, and it was a great time to shoot there because the American dollar was worth 5 times what the rand was worth. So you go around and 20 American dollars, you got like $100, you're good to go. And they put us right on Camps Bay, right there where they shot The Endless Summer, the classic surf film, and just incredible Atlantic Ocean. It was a really amazing time and a really great place to shoot a movie in. So that was really incredible. So I'm just, it's great to be part of that franchise.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. And nowadays, I can see on Wikipedia you are working. You have worked on two titles that are The Temple and Spring Break '83. I don't know. They are old movies that need to be released, or is something you are working on, or it's Wikipedia telling you stuff that is not.
Yes, Spring Break '83 I made with a very cool filmmaker named Mars Callahan. But it seems like I was kind of brought in to co-direct with him, kind of almost in a P.T. Anderson, Robert Altman kind of way, because Mars was suffering some health issues. So, but I don't know. I did get to see a screening of it, which was incredibly hilarious. So, and it's got a great cast. I worked with Lee Majors, Ash's dad.
Yeah, yeah,
Before
yeah.
he was Ash's dad. And John Goodman's in it. I mean, it's downtown Julie Brown. Oh, it's a really fun. It's such a great script, and so much would be politically incorrect by now because even back then it was just before. I don't know. Uh, it's a real throwback to the '80s politically incorrect type of comedy.
Uh, uh, so it's what's not released. Also,
No, but he did. Mars did finish it. Yeah, and it's got cameos by Morgan Fairchild and Adrian Zemed and T.J. Hooker thing. Lots of '80s style
yeah.
cases. But I had heard maybe there was some music rights issues. I don't know, but I think it's a really funny comedy. But it's I haven't even got a copy of it. But strangely enough, I have like about a quarter of the dailies on DVD.
Yeah.
So for what it's worth,
Wow, wow.
a
Uh,
hard copy, it's a dinosaur, a hard copy.
yeah, yeah. I can understand. I can feel this. And
But
uh,
I love them. I love them because what they prevent is potential censorship or triggered. situations, and oh, we can't, like, oh boy, how can I be the judge of that? All right, aren't ratings enough?
Yeah. And what about your current project? I mean, have you something you are working on? You
Yeah,
are
I'm working with Tony Timpone of Fangoria
wow,
Entertainment,
wow.
and Mark Sells, and we have a project called Zombie Wedding. Samantha and Devin want a zombie themed wedding. The good news is the guests have arrived. The bad news is they're dead. It's that kind of a thing, right? So it's like, um, I wrote the script based on Mark Sell's original script, and Mark like, hey, let's get Scotty Spiegel. So I did a draft, and at one point Bruce was going to be in it before, you know, you know, whatever. But at the end of the day, it's just a really cool zombie throwback. It's got some humor in it, but like the horror sequences are going to, be pretty gory. So it might be a interesting kind of a balancing act. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so we're got a pitch deck, and we're working with a producer now, and to get financing and get her made.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully within, I don't know, maybe, I don't know what kind of budget area. We'll see. We'll see. It's a little too early to tell, but it's not gonna. It's none of it.
And do you expect do you
Within. Yeah, I don't even want to say.
do you expect this to be a movie for some kind of platform, or more of an indie movie, or more a feature movie for the theater?
Yeah, maybe. Well, no, we're gonna just throw it out there, but yeah, an indie movie, basically financed, and then, I mean, who knows? It's a little early, but I'm very happy with the script, and it's I think we got a good package. Yeah, it's a fun concept, and you know
Yeah.
we're
Keep keep
gonna
keep,
do.
keep
And
me
these are
posted.
these are these are these are kind of like raising the dead zombies. These aren't like,
Yeah.
oh, it's some Return of the Living Dead kind of a, those are more chemical induced zombies. The government did something bad, and you know, although you never know. I mean, 'cause I don't know. I mean, Night of the Living Dead did it so brilliantly, because you're like, you never sure where these fuckers come from. You just know that they're the living dead. You're like, oh shit, I mean, it's not like, I guess it's maybe more scientific. Haven't I seen Night of the Living Dead, the original? But
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of, they call them ghouls. They don't even call them zombies.
Yeah. Yeah. Real.
It's
Yeah.
just kind of weird, but it looks like, what's kind of cool about that movie. You're uncertain about why are these people doing this? You're just trying to survive the evening. But anyway,
Yeah. Then keep me posted, because in case the films goes well, I will be very happy to support. I mean, with an interview, or with some kind of coverage on my channel, because I mean,
oh, how cool! Oh, thank you.
it's very interesting. So
Oh,
we,
that's
we love
great.
we love this kind of stuff, and I mean, so in case I will be happy to help in some way.
Oh, excellent, man. I may take you up on that in the near future. But no, this is
Yeah.
great. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. So it was very cool talk to you. And I mean, you told us so many things. In particular, the one about the script part that didn't make it. I loved that. I think it's a very original thing. Where I never heard about it, and so I mean,
Oh
it's
wait, I'm
great.
sorry. Oh, who's death?
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed what you were saying there for a moment. Sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Sorry. No, I was telling that we talked about many stuff. In particular, the part in which you talked about the part of Evil Dead 2 script that didn't make it. It was
Oh,
very
right.
cool, because I never heard about that. So I love to search about this behind the scenes, this
Oh no,
back,
that's
these
cool.
old
I know.
these old stories. Yeah.
And
So
sometimes I'm going, oh wait, I said this over here, and I'm like, oh god, because when you're a fan of something, you go, I want to hear, and I'm like, oh, I've heard this story 6 times. You're like, oh, But anyway, that's pardon me if I sound like a broken record, but I do appreciate it. I'm sorry. Always
Yeah.
try to at least kind of you know
So
put a little twist on it anyway.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you for having you here, and
Oh, thank you.
have a nice day. And as you said at the beginning, I will be happy to have you even in the future in case you have something new to tell, even about your
That'd
new
be
new.
great. And
Okay,
I will email you some pics.
absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely. So
cool.
we can use it
And
for
how in
the
the hell do you pronounce your damn name?
my name. Well, it's a nightmare for everyone that talk English. Um, it's Emanuele, but
Oh, you're getting fancy on me. I mean, I could
but
have just Googled that, but
yeah,
I could have just put it in and it's like, what a great time to be alive, and I'm just too damn lazy. But say that one more time.
Emanuele. But
Okay.
usually in English talking person call me Emmanuel. It's easier for
Okay,
them.
that's
It's
totally
easier
cool.
for them.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that? I know it's cool. I got you. We're lame, but that is cool, Emmanuel. That is all right, man. Because it seemed like there was almost an extra e on the end, and I'm like going, oh, I'm
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because
That's right.
we Italian we tend to spell even the last one,
Oh
So I think
man.
that is the part that make
Oh
English
well.
speaking people having some difficulties
Well,
with my
dude,
name.
one of my biggest influencers was Mario Bava. From the minute I
Oh,
saw Kaltiki when I was a child, and oh my God, I'm like, dude, and then Black Sabbath, and he's just the greatest of all things. But no, I just wish I could learn to speak Italian. I'm just horrible. It's bad. I'm bad enough with English, but I'm like, oh man, and then of course Dario Argento, but don't get me started.
yeah, the fun stuff. I love horror convention stuff like that. So I traveled to Germany, to US, sometimes to UK,
Oh,
and
cool,
I met Dario Argento in Germany. I mean, I never met
brilliant.
him in Italy, but I met him in Germany, and it's
Oh,
pretty
isn't that?
fun.
I know it's
It's
that.
fun. It's fun. I mean,
Oh, that's great. Oh, dude, you must have so much story, so many stories. But dude, I'd love to talk to you later and give that Rob McLean, a shout out.
yes, Robert McLean, give
He's a
me
great
your
guy.
contact. Yes, yes, and
Uh,
oh well, there is one thing we didn't talk about. If you have 5 minutes
oh,
left,
sure.
yes, I mean, many of us Evil Dead fans. I mean, you give us the joy to own an Evil Dead, a Book of the Dead, the premiere ticket. So,
Oh yeah.
can you tell some backstory about those tickets? I mean, how they, let's say, it's hard. I mean, it was
Oh
hard
yeah.
to
No, it's.
conserve those. I mean,
Oh my God. No, it's so funny. It's so basic too, because I had mentioned earlier about when Josh Becker and I were making Thou Shall Not Kill Except in 1984, 85. we Our offices in Ferndale, Michigan, Action Pictures offices were right next door to Renaissance Pictures offices. So that's where, obviously Rob, Bruce, and Sam. And so we were right next door. So when we did Thou Shalt Not Kill Except, we took every prop and his brother from their storage room. And so that storage room was just incredible. I think it was two storage rooms. And it had everything, including those Book of the Dead tickets.
wow.
So when it came time for us to move from Ferndale, Michigan to Hollywood, California, it was, they cleared everything out. And what I saw, I still had the box and everything. I'm like, I recognize this box. I went up, I'm like, oh, cool. These are the Book of the Dead tickets. A lot of them, I still have some that are torn, that are green. And I think there's Karo syrup on some. I'm like, what are they doing? These aren't used in the movie. But I had this cool box, It was like, like a 6x4 box, and it was just kind of like, hey man, this is cool. Hey, can I have these? Like they were throwing them out. I'm like, all right, everything, all Van Goghs must go. Get out of here. And I'm like, I'll take it. And I had them, and I'm like, wow, what a fun thing. I mean, the fans. I mean, it makes a great bookmark. But although there's not many left, so I'm still keeping a big.
Yeah.
I have. There is. a few. But it's nice that the bands can, snag them on eBay for, you know,
Yeah, I
a
was
little
one
bit
of
of
the
cash.
lucky of the last lucky one to get the torn green tickets. I have on my wall, hanging on my wall from you, and
Oh,
I
that's
mean, what
great.
they are one of my, let's say, greater possession about Evil Dead franchise. Yeah, I keep
Oh,
them with care, you know.
oh, that is great. I love it. I'm so happy. I love the fans. Everybody's so cool. And I think it's just kind of a great opportunity because obviously I'm a fan myself. So I totally like understand that. I think I'm glad that it's appreciated and it's cool. Like, obviously, there's going to be a part where I'm just going to go, no, these are like the last and the last and the last. But at least they're out there. And, I can't have too much Evil Dead memorabilia yet. It still has some cool parts of Sam's. I think it's part of the script to like Within the Woods. But who knows? Maybe that, when I do or if I do a book, that might pop up with Sam's permission. And if he doesn't give me permission, then I won't do it. So, but he's the greatest, Sam. Those guys. I'm so glad you're. I mean, it's just the Evil Dead mythos. It's just taking on a life of its own. It's so cool to
Yeah.
be a part of it.
Sorry, I didn't understand the last.
I said the Evil Dead mythos. It's just it's taken on a life, an afterlife of its own, and
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
glad to be part of that.
Yeah. It's great. It's great. I mean, and it's great for me having you here because you are an active part of this whole story. You know, so
Oh, cool! No, thank you so much.
it's
I
great.
obviously
It's
I
great.
love talking about it, and I just I love all the fans and just everything, and I'm so happy for the boys because they had a heck of a time there for the first few years. It's like, oh wait a minute, what's going on here? And again, success is the best revenge. So how cool is all that?
Oh, thank you.